I think that they both deserve a payday, and to settle the pound for pound debate once and for all, Africa or Europe, you decide. Let's just make it happen. I think this would be a great matchup for UFC Africa. Why? Firstly, the stakes. MMA isn't like football, food and wine, remember? I don't see MMA replacing football. The instinct to eat is just as primal as the need to drink. They aren't the same, but both necessarily. MMA needs to be further optimized. It needs to migrate successfully with the culture and not be the misfit that continually goes against the grain, disobeys their fans, and does as it pleases. Being the little tough guy is cute, but only for so long. It's getting boring. UFC don't do numbers like the European League or La Liga because they're supposed to be in touch with culture more than their focused or proposed competitors. They aren't. Think Hunger Games, Sports, and Primal Olympics. The biggest thing the UFC are missing is a loyal to death fan base. Without further ado, meet the Hooligans. If DDP is responsible for the Crudes, then Ilya the Hooligans. Extremely huge fan base entering the sector, so problem of being out of touch and culturally relevant solved. Player and organizational loyalty solved. Let's get into it. What the UFC is missing is fan loyalty enjoyed by the likes of Man United and Real Madrid. It was Ilya who proved it at the post-fight press conference. El Clasico win, elated. My team lost, just happy for the gents to be on the pitch. We spoke about Connor's wet dream. This is Dana's. Now I'm giving it to you. This time not for free. We are working together. So yeah, Covington versus Barrett. This brings me to my next fight to make. I think Ilya and Makachev with Kamzat versus McGregor makes sense for the board as well. How well Kamzat and McGregor both need a hit on the back of their horse. Only high ticket game will do. Whittaker and Chandler pay the bull sure, but don't put you in a Lambo drop top hardly. So besides the career pressure, the massive payday due to pay-per-view buys and sold out attendance, a historical press tour, it's the future fights that line up which get me excited. Kamzat wins automatic #1 welterweight title shot guaranteed UFC Europe. McGregor wins automatic welterweight or lightweight title shot guaranteed UFC Europe. There's no losing for McGregor. It's an opportunity of a lifetime again. Fighting either Islam or Ilya is an absolute heater for McGregor. Remember, McGregor has hooligans of his own, as does Ilya. McGregor is not gonna miss the chance to Jol, be venerated yet again by pop culture, leaving out continuing his legacy in MMA and taking his throne back. He has an opportunity to Jol Safe with real gangsters in real costly areas, all before telling this massive untapped market share for his products here. This brings me to my next fight to make, Covington versus Barrack. Look guys, yes, win, style, hype, and a lot sells fights, but you're forgetting about the chirps. I'd argue that Chubb sells fights, or just in general, better than anything else. Here in South Africa, freedom of speech really is a thing. Come here and see for yourself. Now, I know someone asked Dana the question as to why more brothers on the UFC Arabia card, why there aren't more brothers on the UFC Arabia card. I agree with that, brothers. So let's do this. Let's give you a proposed title teaser as well as proposed title for UFC Europe. Great way to introduce the last fight I think we should have. UFC Africa, good kids versus bad boys. The good are no more trustworthy than the bad blameworthy. The good ones that picked up a ball, the bad ones that throw hands. UFC Europe, Byzantine Empire versus Mughal Empire. So Ilya versus McGregor / Islam / Mirab. DDP versus AP at light heavyweight, or Kamzat at middleweight, or Uncle Live at heavyweight. Also adding Shara Bulachia, Bilal, welterweight, or champ defense, Nurmagomedov, UAE Warriors, and EFC Cage Warriors, bare knuckle power slap / post club, UFC Africa and Europe spectacles with Coachella Tomorrowland events that go intercontinental.